warriors, samurais, and legends. How you doing today? I wanted to talk about 2 years of the Rapture and just how thankful I am. I got up this morning. I'm like, yo, I can't believe what we're doing and what we've created. Like, I'm just like so thankful for the experiences that we've created so far. You know, I really want to do like a big kind of recap, like just Rapture recap, if you will, of just going down memory lane, how we even got to this point from, I guess, like the chapter zero, if you will, to, even how the Rapture was created and just how we got to this point, right? It's been so many trials and tribulations, so many moments where we didn't even know if we would get to this point, you know. But basically, for the people now getting into the Rapture, or you may have forgotten or just never knew, the Rapture is really just, you have three different sides. You have the Angel Army, which are just very militant, trained, just focused individuals of warriors in the dojo that really believe in a specific way of training. They plan very well. They are very well organized and structured, right? Then you have Dojo Demon Time, who are they're very methodical. They're very aggressive. And you can see it now, even when the pages begin. The demons are very just like, come over here. What are you doing? Like, they're ruthless. They're very wild. They're very sporadic, right? So they believe that this is the best way to train. This is kind of their MO. They're very fun. The mortals are sometimes they're kind of a mix of both, but they're very like, and you can see it in the scoreboard a lot. They're very like chill, but it's like, don't mess with us either, like, because we're not gonna back down, right? They're very prideful. The mortals, they have a lot to be proud of and thankful for. The mortal combatants are very needed in the Rapture. They give that element of balance that is needed in the Rapture. That being said, when the Rapture first started, everybody wanted to be a demon, and it kind of started by accident, right? Like, for you guys that were here from the very beginning, it started by accident. Everybody wanted to be a demon. Demon time, dojo demon time, DDT, and everybody was rocking out DDT. And eventually everybody was like, yo, some people were like, yo, I don't want to be a demon. I don't want to be what everybody else is being. I want to be, wholesome. I want to do my own thing. And at the time, the opposite of Dojo Demon Time was, wholesome. Eventually, I created the name Angel Army, and it kind of went from there. And from chapter, I guess you want to say 0, which is kind of like the test chapter to see like how this thing's gonna go. It was a very wild period. The hunger to be the first winners ever of these things were really evident. There were a lot of unsportsmanlike activities happening at the time, so we really had to set rules based on the rules of a game. Before it was even really like an RPG. The goal was to really trigger alerts to put points on the board for your squad, for your team, and that was the primary focus of everything in terms of, I guess, strategy. And while that was really, really cool to be a part of that, I knew I had to diversify and develop this thing way more if you wanted to see this thing gain longevity. With that being said, after getting a good feel of chapter 0, then we have, like I'd say the periods of chapter 1 to 3 were like a really good test and feel for how the Rapture was gonna go and how invested people were, and I started really planning things like, okay, let's start throwing in like classes and ways for people to gain experience. You're triggering all these alerts all the time, but and although of course the ultimate goal for some of the people, not all, because when I say ultimate goal, they understood that, obviously gifts and bits and all these things are supporting myself and my channel. But for some people, they were kind of putting the game over support. And at that point, it was kind of like, that was kind of ruining the essence of what the Rapture was, right? I want you to win, and I want you to win bad, but I don't want you to want it more than like what the ultimate purpose of the Rapture is, right? Back in like 2020, the beginning of 2021, the Warriors of the Dojo were really just breaking all kinds of grounds, being very supportive of my content more than ever. And I wanted to create something that made it fun for warriors to participate and really get involved with these things. And man, did the warriors come full surface. They embraced the Rapture. They're telling a friend to tell a friend. They're getting so invested in these things. And if you have ever, this is like our version of creating like a Marvel universe where you're starting to see like superheroes clash from different sides, heroes, villains, civilians, whatever, whoever you are, you can get it, right? This is our live anime. This is our live like kind of film, if you will. So we really started calling these things chapters and pages, but we'll get to that in a bit. So before, chapter 1 through 3, they weren't called chapters and pages. They were called, I believe they were called episodes. I think they were called just episodes. I forgot what the overall word was. It was like episode and something else that slipped my mind, but they were definitely called episodes. And it was, just going by each episode, there was that kind of feel of, oh wow, this is getting serious, or whoa, what's gonna happen today, or and I want, till to this day, I want each episode or page to feel like, ooh, what's happening today, or ooh, who's gonna shine today, or because man, does that build lore. And you'll see the lore start to build as you create this resume for yourself every month it just continues to go, right? But from the chapters of 1 through 3, it was a very ruthless time. I felt like people wanted to win bad by any means. Sometimes the by any means part meant something pretty pretty controversial, and it put us, and us, I mean like myself and the black belt team, it put us in predicaments that were very difficult to call. Our number one thing was to keep the best interest of the game, but at the same time, we know like feelings are involved also. So it was kind of tough finding that balance in intense moments. So I would say once after like chapter 3, season, that's what they were called. That's what, before we had chapters, it was seasons. So season and episodes, that's what it was. And I'd say after chapter 3, the mortals, during chapter 3, the mortals and angels, they had like a unison, a little allegiance for a bit. because the mortals were basically, they were just people that didn't want to be angels or demons, really. And they were pretty tired of being overlooked. There were like some people that were basically kind of like Ronin, like they didn't want to be involved in anything at all, and they just were kind of like, sort of like civilians kind of. And they were like, wow, like people are having this intense war and we are not being considered, recruited, cared about at all. So that's really how the mortals have come to be. They are built off of that underdog, I'm always overlooked, kind of similar to the Angel Army, but the Angel Army have capitalized on the underdog story so much that they are the most successful faction, in the Rapture now. They are no longer the we'll get to that. But, during this time, the Angel Army were very feared. People knew how dangerous they were. They were just champions at this point. This is all volume 1, and a volume in the Rapture is the first 10 chapters. And then every 10 chapters is a volume in the Rapture. So, after, I love doing this. It's reminisce thing. I love this, man. It's this legit a story, but I really wanted to make this video because, all of us like involved in this, and all the new people that we'll meet in the future, and the people that are looking to get more active in the channel and learn what's happening. Like, this is exciting, man. Join is exciting. As you could tell, I'm very passionate about this. I haven't lost any sort of passion or hunger to create for this or continue to build storylines and things of this nature, because woo! As of right now, as I'm recording this video, we haven't done page 3 yet in the Rapture, and of chapter 24, and we have some things coming this chapter. I just hope the dojo's ready. Anyway, so yeah. So after this mortal angel alliance, the demons were not feeling that, like, at all. And eventually the mortals became their own faction. Chapter 4, the mortals debut chapter, it featured just such a sense of like underdogism, if that's a word. This like, y'all overlooked us and now we're gonna show you why that was a mistake, right? So there was so much pride and energy being thrown around. The mortals almost won their debut chapter. They were just shy of winning that chapter. And then, kind of moving on, I believe chapter 5, I think that's when I introduced Mojumon. They were called pets then. And the idea, because chapter 4, I introduced class moves, like unique classes at that time. I think chapter 3, I introduced classes, kind of like broad classes. I think we had like brawler and stuff. And then chapter 4, I individualized them. And then chapter 5, I believe I introduced Mojumon. And the concept for Mojumon were obviously just any pocket monster-esque kind of game. I wanted to give you guys something that you can grind for outside of your class moves. And if you enjoy raising some sort of a pet, or played Pokemon, Nexomon, Koromon, whatever, you have this opportunity to raise these beings to your liking, and they're all original designs, right? All new typings, evolutions, move sets. I really, and you're raising, and I the main thing I wanted was for you to feel that connection with feel like connection with these things, you know, because you're raising something from like an egg to where it's this powerful creature, you know, and there's something about having that synchronization that is just like, yo, this is hitting for me, because like I raised you like when you were an egg, like you had no abilities, and now I've raised you to be this impactful beast, you know, in the Rapture. So I think I just thought that thought process, and you know, that was cool. You know, there are definitely things to the Rapture that I've wanted to introduce that didn't start off well, or start up to the point where I'm like, man, they're really enjoying this. And then, you know, like for example, like summon cards. When we introduced summon cards, I wanted to highlight you guys as the kind of the lore and the figures that you guys deserve to be. And it nobody really used it when we first dropped it. I think it was chapter 4 when we first dropped summon cards. Nobody used it. The mortals were the ones that really started to kind of play the game in its entirety. But yeah, that summon cards nowadays, summon cards are used every page, but summon cards were not used at all that day, or at those times. So yeah, just chapter through chapter, things just kept developing until we get to kind of a breaking point around, I'd say, you know, because you have people changing factions and kind of feeling out where they want to go, you know, where they feel like they fit best. You know, there were so many things going back and forth. So eventually we get to a point where I think it's around like I think it's supposed to be the start of chapter 8, I think. And, you know, there's just a lot of kind of arguing and bickering and just a lot of back and forth going on. Till eventually, you know, I'm like, yo, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Like, I don't think people are having fun. And I think I feel like people want me to end this. So I said, hey, all right, that's it, y'all. We're done. And the response that I got for that at the time, I'm like, I really thought this is what y'all wanted. So we held the stage in Discord, and you know, we just kind of all vented and let things out, and we came to the common understanding that, yo, we 100% don't want the Rapture to finish. But it's so insane because I already had this planned, just not for the whole month. That was the creation of Warrior Month, which was November 2021 was Warrior Month. And in Warrior Month, this is basically like, okay, the entire dojo is going to kind of come together and team up to support, meaning each other, right? You know, whatever challenges may come, whatever, right? So that being said, it was received well, and I was pleased about that, because I didn't know how that would go. I wasn't sure at the time if people just wanted to support because, you know, I don't know, they felt like they were putting points on the board for their team, or like, I just wasn't sure, like, if people again just understood ultimately, like, this is like for support, you know, of my channel, just to assist the channel and generate some revenue, and, you know, continue to highlight the warriors of the dojo. It's all like together, you feel me? Like, it's all like works hand in hand. Like, one thing is not going to support the other. So like, for example, because it really does mean a lot to me that you guys are, that this stuff helps, right? And we try to put out the tools for you guys to develop your characters and just like really increase your lore. And we just try to put those things out there, continue to try to help that, right? So that really does mean a lot to me, and all these things work hand in hand. Because I don't think people realize the amount. Because at this point, by chapter 8, I mean, people are legit like on, like every month, they based on the work that they put in, the creation of Sensei Studios, like I can pay people at the end of every month now, because people are supporting so much. What this does is create kind of like expendable income, where I'm able to pay people for the production things that they help keep the Rapture moving. It's honestly just business stuff at the end of the day, like typical business stuff, right? It till this day, it feels great to be able to do that, because there are artists, there are voice actors, there are whatever animators that they're looking and they're like, you go on Twitter right now and type looking for artists, you'll see how many people tweet you, randoms, because they're looking for keywords all the time. Like that's how, like, sometimes even like kind of desperate people are looking for that, just added supplementary income, right? So to be able to help provide that at any rate, like, bro, I don't care if it was I don't care if it was $5, right? Like, some Fiverr shit, it's still supplementary income to whatever other income you're getting, right? It's a more opportunities for you that you wouldn't have had before, and it's something you have to be grateful for. That being said, so yeah, Warrior Month went well. Our first one, it went well, and I was just grateful for that. So Rapture kept on chugging, chapter 8, 9, and then we started introducing things like Warrior Week every month. And bosses are invading, and warriors are now, for Warrior Week there, because that's like All-Star Week, right? So we got bosses now, we got the Ultimate Warrior now, where there's like this huge bit battle between warriors. Just so many just fun concepts to see who's hungry, who wants this. So we're seeing so many, and now we're starting to the idea and concept of doing crossovers every month now. So every chapter, we're starting to introduce themes, and new classes pertain to these themes, and it's really starting to develop. And then come like chapter 12, we start implementing like HP system and a stamina system, and it's gotten so layered. And I don't think some people have come into the Rapture and they've met it like this, but oh my goodness, there's been so many trials and tribulations to do these things, right? We used to have no automation, so the black belts literally, every time you do a move that times somebody out, they'd have to manually do these things. So all these things used to be manual. Status effects, they'd put on a document who got the status effect and how long they had the status effect for. They have to keep track of all those things, right? Nothing was automated. Everything was manual. So that being said, there were definitely times where there was some frustrations going on within the team. But man, one thing about these black belts, they are very resilient, and they are individuals that are just like the ultimate like support team. They really look to make sure that the pages go smoothly and things really get settled, right? They are very supportive. So more time goes on, and we're just implementing all of these new things. Every chapter we have updates and stages and just things for you guys to look forward to. We're introducing new Mojimon evolutions, moves for them. We're revamping moves and just really getting into our creative spaces to now we're at this point that it's been 2 years of just this, the Rapture, you know, where, we're working on a video game. We got Rapture Racers, another, kind of like a video game hack, if you will. And it has been just an incredible experience. You know, I said this back in like around chapter 4, and I'm like, yo, y'all, just looking at all the things I've written down for the future, I have years of content here. Like, I have literally years of content here. I told people last year when we made a year, I was like, when we make 2 years, look at where we are in the Rapture. I mean, it's gonna be so many new things, so many new features that's taking place, you know. So fast forward to now, the Mortals got their first chapter victory. I believe it was chapter 22, I think. Or 21. I think it was 21. 21 or 22, I can't remember. I think it was 21. And there's just been so many different factors going on. Now we fast forward to volume 3. Volume 2, the Angel Army, and volume 1, the Angel Army were very dominant. Volume 3, it's been demons. Dojo Demon Time has been absolutely incredible. Volume 1 and 2, the Angel Army, was so impressive, like incredibly impressive. Where now I think they have like 15 championship banners. Like, they've won like 15 months out of like 24. They have been so incredible. So yeah, we will the story continues, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for this opportunity. There every day, y'all, I see streamers and people, like, literally, I see it all the time. Like, dudes quit all the time. Like, they're like, yo, that's it. Or I'll see people quit their full-time jobs, which I completely disagree with. But they'll quit their full-time job to say they're going full-time content creating, without actually getting that type of revenue. They just kind of, I don't know, I guess they want to have like a hero story or whatever. I don't know what the purpose is, I'm gonna be honest. But my situation, I was actually released. I don't like to say fired. I'd rather it was released, from my job. So it kind of put me in that situation where, like, kind of all I had was streaming and content creating. So yeah, I'm just so glad things are working out, because there was just so much doubt from people around me. They were not believers of what we had going on. And even when we first started doing the Rapture, there were people kind of looking like, what's he doing? What is this? Angels, demons, the fuck is this? What is going on here? There was so much like skepticism. Is that a skepticalism? I don't know if that's a word, but there was like a lot of critiques, whispering, things like that. But in order to stand out, you gotta do something like you gotta do something epic, man. You gotta do something nobody else is doing. It's so easy to just turn the stream on and just play the game. Like, that's easy for me at this point, right? I can do commentary over gameplay a million times, right? That's something I'm like trained in. That's literally me. I've been gaming my entire life. It's nothing for me at this point, right? But the challenge of now you're kind of creating a game within the game. That formula has been incredible, and legit cannot do it without the black belt teams, without Sensei Studios. We there's a lot of people involved in this, from family Jewel, to E-Man to D-Man, to Jin to Cinder, to Cody, to Crazy, to Neku, to Reezy. There's a lot of different people involved, to Crisscross, to Toe, Bird. Like there's a lot of people involved in all the formulas that we got going on. Pusher Man, Nice Cream, like they've sacrificed a lot of time to see that this thing is successful, right? You got Jasmine, Cheeks. That sounds crazy out of context if you guys don't know who Cheeks is, but yeah, to the warriors of the dojo, that they just get it. They understand, like, this stuff supports the channel and we're gonna make some noise and do it epically. And I've been focusing on continuing to increase the production of the channel, continue to make it feel like an RPG. And I've been throwing in so many different elements. I'm just very passionate and motivated to continue this, right? So many things I can't make possible without Neck. I would have concept of things, and Neck really helps bring them to life. That sounds crazy. Neku helps bring them to life, so just thank you guys. I didn't even know I've passed 30 minutes here, but just thank you guys so much for believing in the Rapture, believing in the dojo. I really need to get back to making like YouTube videos and YouTube content and shorts and stuff like that. That's if there's one thing Deadass do need, we have so many talented individuals that do so many things, animation, voice work, art, music, audio production, all of that stuff, coding, right? Man, I need a clipper, bro. I need someone to clip the dojo's epic moments on the channel. I need that. Like, if I had that, it would be so easy making YouTube shorts. Like, it will. Like, if I could just go to the channel and just capture the clips that are already clipped, that would be amazing. That would be great. So if that's you, let me know. Let me know. But yeah, just thank you for 2 years of just so many emotions. You guys helped me surpass 10,000 subscribers on Twitch. We hit like 11,000. And you guys have me at, we average anywhere from like 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers, sometimes even more, a month. And I am so blessed to be able to say that. Ever since we became like Twitch ambassador, you guys have really instilled just this will to win within all of us, and people come and go. Some people take breaks, some people come back, some people have been consistent all across the board. But man, just again, thank you for supporting my dream. And I really do hope that we are helping to expand your own individual creativity. The ultimate goal I really want to leave you guys with is the characters that you guys create in the Rapture, the lore you create for yourself, the persona that you personify. I want you to take certain elements of that and implement that into your lives when the dojo doors are closed. So when you leave the dojo in your on your adventure outside of the dojo, that confidence that you instill in yourself, that being that you instill in yourself, you can take that into so many aspects of your life and get your own personal goals accomplished, right? That's what the Rapture can do. So I want you to, and so many like anime do that for you, right? Sometimes when you go to the gym, you'll see people working out in like Dragon Ball Z shirts, and it'll say like workout, kind of workout slogan and stuff like that, because those characters personify power, right? So whatever you got going on, man, just understand, through a team, individually, you can get goals accomplished. And that's what I want to leave you guys with. So Once again, thank you guys for just a successful 2 years. You have helped change my life and the lives of others. People are able to get into a creative bag that they have never been a part of, you know. So it's just a win-win for everybody. So thank you guys. All right, here's to year 3 as we continue to push in that direction. You know, I want to continue to. We got some dope stuff coming, bro. Like, you guys have seen what we've been able to do in a year, from when we made a year of the Rapture to now, all the things we've implemented, which is an insane amount. I mean, go back and check the resumes of the document updates in Discord. I mean, we've really put a lot of things. These things take hours to work on and make. So again, thank you to the team, everybody, warriors, samurais, and legends. I really do appreciate you, and I hope to continue seeing you guys train in the dojo, man, for years to come. Let's do it, man. All right. All right, warriors, samurais, legends, always remember to keep on training.